Welcome back. Satisfactory. We are in the midst of making heat sinks. And we already have, I was going to store and forward and do a bunch of stuff, but if we look right here, these sheets are right here. We'll grab the copper sheets and we'll take care of that. So we just need the aluminum sheets and the copper sheets and we're good to go. Let's slide in some assemblers, shall we? Now, no matter how many of these we build, if we built 100, I guess it'd be different. We're not going to build that many, so we're good to just... something like that. Nope. Now, I could potentially do both of these. Let me think about this for a second. I definitely want to lift this one in and then split it. One to this side, one to this side. But can we do the same on this side? Ah, yes. The answer is yes. Just put a splitter here. Run this down this way and then this into here. And we are done. Let's make sure we set these to sync. And put our label on. All right. Heat sink and heat sink. Perfect. And then I guess we should do labels. Oh, wait a minute. Well, this is wrong. There we go. And then we'll do an arrow. Spend so much time on these, but it's so convenient when you try to track down what's going on. Okay. That's pretty close. Let's save this. Make sure we don't save over our blank. Just having one connection down here makes this process just easier to deal with. You can build it a lot faster that way. Okay, so that has to go straight across this way. Let me put this in here just so we can theorize the placement. Let's not make this a smart splitter, especially not by accident. Here we go. Now we're rocking and rolling. Nice. Well, I'm glad I left this here because this is letting me know that this connection's not going to work. Uh-oh. Oh, that works. I'll take it. Not a bad build today. Gonna need a couple of quartz crystal, but other than that, it's pretty good. We don't have a lot of room. We want to get it kind of 40-ish of these down. I guess if we have to come back and delete some foundations, so what? Okay, so blueprints, heatsink full, turn. That giant concrete bag comes flying out of the pocket dimension into reality. So that was 8. I theoretically could be okay with 8. We'll start loading up at least that very first. And then we're going to have to load some copper sheets. Though, you know what? I'm suddenly feeling a little unsure of myself, even though I see it right there, which is very reassuring. Copper sheets. Okay. We need to increase our deuterium output. We're not making enough quick wire to support our massive AI limiters factory. Let's not get too distracted. Down here, this is the absolute mess that is our copper sheets store and forward. I think we should make another line, as insane as this sounds, of copper sheet storage. Even if it's not a full one, I set this little bleed off right here and it's full again. So we're making a good chunk of copper sheets. Our steam sheets factory from a few episodes ago is being extremely effective. Right, so this is just the bleed off amount of the copper sheets. But it turns out it's actually kind of a lot of copper sheets. So many, in fact, that I'm thinking super side project. Maybe we should put a few in our little storage hall here. I'll probably never remember that this little item storage even exists, so this won't take long to fill up. Matter of fact, we could probably manually fill most of it, just so we get a better sense of how much we have. So, side quests, create storage for your copper sheet supply. I mean, it's running pretty good. Some beautiful sheets. Get this labeling done. Whoops. Okay. Now we have access to copper sheets. Where is our upload place? Ooh, it's actually pretty close. I'm gonna take a shot. Sometimes I get this right, sometimes I get it wrong. Well, I'm wrong. All right, so that's obviously wrong. On the line, on the center. Do I want two of these? I probably want two of these. Let's put in two. We'll skip over this using my new favorite lift. And that's copper sheets are a go. Oh, you know, one more thing I wanted to do is kind of mix up our outputs here. Since this side is totally dead, we're going to liven this up by moving some of this over here manually. Oh, we got lots of cable too. That'll mix things up a little bit, and it'll send half to these old lines and half to the new lines. But since the new lines got a little boost, a little head start, we'll probably stop consuming enough of this before that boost runs out. At least that's the plan. I obviously should have built this differently. I don't want to change it though, so we're just gonna use my new favorite lift. You know what? I want to connect the first few and then power it just to make sure everything's working as expected. There's a better than non-zero chance you're yelling at your screen about some obvious thing that I missed. So before we go too far down the road, I guess if I move this over just a little bit. What happened to our copper sheets on this side? Oh, you know what it is? We're not loading enough copper sheets. See, this is why I hoisted in those other ones so I could get a sense of how this was actually working. Well, that's a little better. But not a lot better. And for whatever reason, this side has decided to activate. Oh, that's because I grabbed a bunch and put it over here. That's why. Yeah, we know what's going on there. Let me put a series of belts on here on the back. This should probably be default at this point. I mean, it's fully loaded, 2 going in. One coming out, 1 going up. Ah, so there's probably a surplus of sheets in here. Yep. That should be getting us closer to fully loaded. Fully loaded 1 belt. What is going on here? you going to make me upgrade all these belts as well? There it is. Copper sheets are now flowing on both belts. Right? Look at all those heat sinks dropping into place. We're short on quartz crystal? Well, should have... We had noticed that earlier. We could have been uploading quartz crystal this entire time. We would have had enough by the time we were ready to go. Again... Let's check our copper sheet supply. I mean, it's not a full 2 belts now, because we are using, or we're refilling this side. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. We knew we weren't going to have all the copper sheets in the known world. But for right now, if I had to choose, I want heat sinks. All right. I think that's enough. We're going to not worry so much about our actual copper sheet flow. Ooh, we ran a reinforced plate as well. We'll see where we are after. Well, we've got 4 more builds, theoretically. I'm probably going to be okay with 2 less than we planned. I'll steal the reinforced plate, but I'll drop off some steel pipe. How's that? We need 300 quartz crystal. I feel like we've got 300 quartz crystal lying around somewhere. We don't have to go all the way out to the quartz crystal factory. We've taken a lot of the good stuff out of here, though. A lot of the good stuff. We do have our lovely little... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it looks like we have room for a little bit more space here. A little too close. I think we can just whip this in. You know, I don't even know how many heat sinks we're making. I've kind of evolved past caring about those types of things, you know, numbers, efficiency. You make a bunch, you store them, you go do something else, you make a bunch of that, you store that, and when you come back, you've got so many of that first thing that it really doesn't matter until you run out, in which case it matters again. But like with the copper powder, we probably have 500,000 copper powder. When it comes time to actually use that, okay. It's gonna take a while for these to load. How are we on the... Okay, yeah, the aluminum sheets are there. As per is my custom, let's give these guys at the end of the line some materials to work with. That's more or less. Let's see, how many do we put in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 times 2 times 2, 36 machines, which gives us 11.5 per. 270 heat sinks per minute. That is a perfectly fine amount of heat sinks. Oh, I guess that's the wrong one. No, that's the wrong one. They both can't be the wrong one. That's probably enough. Put the heatsink on and call it a day. All right. I think that's about it. Heat sink's done. They're already stacking up nicely. I think these last few will pile in some lift upgrades. Don't have to be all the way down. Jeez, this is really a lot farther than I thought it would be. Wow. Okay, finally. We'll just put a nice little dimensional depot. The likelihood that we'll need a ton of heat sinks is relatively low, but there's really no reason not to have it. That is a pretty good build. Now, let's see what else we would do with this. What's the next step? Probably I'm looking at radios, right? Because I want to get something to do with the cubes done. Yeah, so we're here at the fuse cubes. If we had radios, we could make pressure conversion cubes, and once we have those, we are ready to make nuclear pasta. "15 heat sinks per minute," though. Oof, that's a lot. At 20 machines, that's more than this can handle. Yeah, we only have a budget of 270. And that's if we choose... Do we have an alternate for the cooling? No. So we're more or less stuck with that. Kind of tempted to stick with this, though. We could burn down some rubber. We've got way too much rubber that we need to use. So my temptation is to stick with this, even though this is going to cause us nitrogen gas issues as well. All right, well, I think that's kind of a different problem, right? We need the cooling for the engine side of the house, the motors, and the propulsion rockets. So we don't need that right now. Let's just make a bunch of radios. I think we should use all of our available heat sinks to make radios. 15 per minute. 10 machines would be 300 U's per minute. And then we'll have to dip down to get high-speed connectors. So yeah, that's really our problem. Our bottleneck right now is deuterium ingots. I'm going to take a quick peek at our deuterium factory here. And then we'll call it. We're right at an hour, so a little future planning doesn't hurt. We might need to just go hunting for shards. Because we could definitely use more deuterium. There's our drone now. He's picking up less than half. So that means there's more. We could add more capacity to that and not overload that drone port. And that's with this summer slooped and fully overclocked. So, I mean, that to me speaks to doing some exploration and finding a ton of slugs for overclocking. Or unlocking synthetic power shards, time crystals. I have no idea what's going on here. What phase do you have to unlock? Unlocked at the beginning? What? That's not right. Have I been looking at this wrong this whole time? Should I have just... No, that can't be right, because then you'd be able to skip. Yeah, I don't trust this. Hold on. Unlocked at tier 9. That's so far away. Or is it? You know, it has been a long time since we checked our hub. Extracted photonic matter. Jeez. I actually could finish most of this. Not the supercomputer part. So we have to complete phase 4 in order to get to time crystals, which you make from diamonds. Which do you make from coal and a particle accelerator. A cloudy diamond with... I love their names for the alternate recipes. That's so good. Okay, well, I don't think I should handcraft my way through phase 4. We got to automate our way through phase 4. So it might make sense to go on a bit of a exploration binge, find some slugs. coal and sulfur to make black powder. Rifle ammo is smokeless powder and copper sheets. This is smokeless powder requires heavy oil residue. That's going to be a deal breaker over and over again. I think previously I just bought the smokeless powder and made the rifle ammo. I might do that again as part of our exploration. I mean, we could use some summer sloops too. Let's see if we have any. Nope. Okay. Well, if nothing else, we got the heat sinks done. We could stay focused on that and make the radios, which means we'd need to crank out some high-speed connectors. We only have one recipe for that. And in order to do that, well, we're right back to where we started. We need more Caterium. Right back where we started. 210 Caterium wire per minute. This only generates 60 per. It's going to take a significant number of machines just to get the basic requirements set up for this. The question is going to be, do we want to have a high-speed connector factory proper, like a full floor that just does high-speed connectors, or do we just build just enough to get us through? I don't know. But we'll have to figure it out in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.